what is up? It's me, Curiousjoi, and Square Enix invited me to a Final Fantasy VII Rebirth event where I was able to meet the director Hamaguchi-san and producer Kitase-san. As well as them, I also had the pleasure to meeting the entire voice cast of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Because I know what it feels like to be a fan and you really want to get some information without spoiling the narrative, I will be doing my best to protect the narrative for you and only talking about the experience and what you can actually see. There will be showcasing some of the cutscene footage, but there will be no audio because I want to protect your narrative just like anyone else should. You guys are in for such an amazing treat. I am so impressed with how this game is being created and how this game stays true to the original, but then also adds really cool quality of life things to the story. Because I love Final Fantasy VII, but there was always some I wish I could have did this and this storytelling and stuff like that. And Rebirth is definitely on the right path. So that starts off with Queen's Blood. Yes, the card game that I will be spending all of my time in. When you first initially get into the town of Calm, you're given a card pack and you'll be able to be like, hey, use this card pack to be able to, challenge a bunch of people out in the world. I didn't want to get too in depth in Queen's Blood because I really wanted to get as much done as I possibly could while at the event, which was still highly, highly impossible. But Queen's Blood definitely looks good. And the piano game feels nice. I did mash on the piano. I mashed on it. So Calm is basically where you start experiencing more of the mechanics of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. With that, you have access to be able to see the different upgrades that you will be able to do when in the game. Yes, there is a skill tree where you can unlock your synergy moves with your party members. Definitely got to collect all the materials needed to get access to be able to unlock all of the different synergy moves and upgrade your character to its fullest. Along with that, they also show you that there will be weapon upgrades. This weapon upgrades is where you do kind of similar like Remake, where you get your more HP, more everything like that. So this aspect of the game is pretty familiar, but it's just expanded upon. So definitely something that completionists will want to max out all their weapons because, it'll probably be a trophy. Along with just the core game mechanics, there's another mechanic that unlocks, and that is character bonding. If you are out in the wild with your teammates, you see a little happy, sad, mediocre face or whatnot over their character. So this is where you have the ability to talk to them. And when you talk to them, it becomes a choice game where you have to pick the right options to make them happy or you will piss them off. Luckily, I know Tifa very well. It's going to definitely take an impact in Rebirth because it affects your character's mood, and that means it affects your party experience and how your party feels. And I think that is something that's really fun. And I love that aspect of it. Just a little slice of life to brighten up your day. But other than that, Calm is pretty big for a place that seems so small. You walk around, you can get your shops done, you can swim in the water, and you can just see the environment. And eventually where you can be able to come back to Calm is when you can start accepting odd jobs, which are side quests, to be able to get more resources and everything like that. So Calm will definitely be your center hub when the Grasslands area opens and you get a little bit further into the game. We've seen this area before in the Tokyo Game Show demo, but being actually in the location of the Grasslands is so overwhelming to the point where we just did not have a lot of time to get through this game. They suggested for us to do the first couple story beats, which I'm just gonna spice around here. I don't want to spoil any story beats for you, but one of the main quests is to go visit the Chocobo farm because they really wanted us to meet Chadley, because that is when the world becomes even more open. Oh my goodness, I wish I was able to do everything, but the first thing I did was go hang out in Mogs House. And the cool thing about Mogs House is that there is going to be several Mog houses that you can visit with each different mini games. This one was more one of the mini games of taking your Moogle and making sure they get home safely while dodging mechanics. And then of course there are hunts, which I opted out of because I really wanted to just explore the world. I kept getting so lost. I didn't know where I was going. And it was just a wild ride. Before the end of my Final Fantasy VII Rebirth experience, I wanted to try my hand at Midgar Summer. Yes, I tried him the same way I did when I played the original, with no upgrades, no weapons, no anything, and it shows. He definitely put a number on me, and I cannot wait for the main game to come out so that way I can try my hand at it again where I have more, time to do so. Along with getting murdered by Midgar Summer, I wanted to try out Titan. I personally have not seen any pictures or images of Titan, so I really wanted to see what he looked like in game. And he wouldn't let me look at him for very long because he punched me in the face and then I immediately died. So I was playing on the dynamic difficulty because I wanted to give it a chance to figure it out, but with the time that I have, I was unable to like experience what dynamic difficulty will possibly do. So I don't know if Titan was just difficult because I was playing on a dynamic difficulty or if Titan was just difficult. But it seems that if you are doing some of the side quests out in the outside world, that you are able to eventually get tasks done in Chadley's menu to be able to lower Titan's health and everything like that. So doing side quests benefits all the things that you could possibly do in the game. And of course, you will probably have to do side quests. There's absolutely no way, just like the original, you could just head straight to Midgar Summer and just be like, I'm gonna kill this snake, because you're not. Unless you're like the goddess of gods in games, then you're gonna get owned. I'm sorry. For anyone that did not like the linear aspect of Remake, which is understandable because when you're in the Midgar section of the original, that's when it's very linear, and then it isn't until you leave Midgar where the world becomes super open. And this world is so massive and it just feels so smooth, and I forget how good the combat is. I have been doing my Remake playthrough and then coming over to play Rebirth. You're like, they have leveled up this gameplay to be very, very nice. I love that Cloud's triple slash is able to hit air enemies, and it's just, everything was just done very, very well. And so I cannot wait for you all to get your hands on it. I am floored with how this game is being presented and everything that's going into them, and it's all thanks to just the voice acting, the direction of the game, and just everything about it. So I really, really cannot wait till February 29th. I am going to be living in this game. I just can't believe it. But yeah, that is just my general thoughts of Rebirth. I really am holding myself back because I don't want to spoil anything for anyone. So I just wanted to talk about my overall experience of playing the game for the amount of time that I had without being like, hey, so this happened in the story. Like, no. Avoid all spoilers, especially if you have never played the original. And if you have played the original, you're in for such an amazing treat. They know what they're doing. They really know what they're doing. And I know everyone was so worried at the end of Remake when the whispers and everything like that, but they know what they're doing. Please trust Kitase-san and Hamaguchi-san. They know what they're doing. But yeah, that is it from me. Until my next video where I'm probably talking about Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I'll see you guys later. Bye.